Welcome back to another episode of So Get This, and I'm a little worse for wear. I, as many of you know, had pneumonia and still kind of had it when I did TourCon this past weekend, and that didn't do me any favors. I got to TourCon and I felt like crap on toast, to put it mildly. I was really not fit to be there. I spent most of my time at my table and trying, like I always do, but at least in other conventions, I'm active, I'm constantly working, and you know, either I'm making a new piece or I'm, making custom orders, or I'm just, making extra pieces that I might need. And I couldn't bring myself to do jack shit. I was feeling terrible. Every time I ate something, I felt like I had to throw it up. And yeah, we can talk about body functions for the rest of the time. But I wanted to thank you all for all of your amazing support messages. They mean so much to me, and they really help me get through most of the crap. I'm still not 100%. All the traveling kind of gave me a little bit of a setback. I am taking it easy. I mean, I'm still working. I'm still, keeping on top of my stuff, but I'm pacing myself a little slower because I have ShyCon coming up next week that I have to be in tip-top shape for. And Raven will be with me too, and we both look really forward to seeing everybody who's going to be there. So, with that being said, few things I want to talk about tonight. I know it's in a particular order in my title, but I'm gonna switch things around because I was just talking about TourCon, and like I've mentioned many times before, I absolutely love. One of the things that I love about the conventions is getting a chance to meet you guys, and having met one woman in particular. She approached my table with a request that I've never gotten before, ever. And it was mind blowing. What she had asked me to do is to create a piece just like based on her as a person. And, it struck me. So she and I sat down and we talked for a bit so that I can get to know her and pick out some qualities. And it was very important for both her and me that this piece represent not just, okay, I have this great quality, I have that great quality. It's, I need to work on this. I need to work on that. This is an event that happened that affected me in this way. This is something that affected me in a negative way. This is something that was very positive. This is a struggle I'm going through. This is something I've overcome. So I got a very well-rounded picture of this person, and she shared some very intimate things with me that I'm not going to share here, obviously, in case anyone that would know her, I don't want to do that to her. But what she shared with me was incredibly profound, and I wound up making a piece for her that she was happy with. I was very pleased with it too, and I just realized, especially with the Always Keep Fighting campaign and I'm Stigma Free and Attitudes in Reverse, all of that together, I think that these pieces would work very well too in that same vein. So what I would like to do is put it out there that if any of you would like a piece designed for you, specifically for you and about you, it would be a one-shot deal, meaning no one else on the planet would have this piece because there's only one of you and there would only be one piece about you. So, I want to open that door and let you all know that I am doing that now. If you have a custom order specifically about you, or it could be specifically about a person. It doesn't have to be supernatural related. It doesn't have to be about a TV show or a movie or any kind of fandom. It could be about you. It could be about your life. It could be about someone in your life. So just getting that out there. And I want to thank the young woman who I met and giving me the opportunity to work on that for her. It was very meaningful. And yeah, so over to the chat window for a second. Carrie's there. Hi, Carrie. And you missed the very beginning of me bitching about how I'm still I'm still not quite there yet. I think traveling kind of set me back a little bit, but my trip was good for several reasons. Of obviously getting to TourCon and getting to see everybody and you know, make some new acquaintances. I got to spend time with some dear friends of mine, Chicken Bean / Shannon. I got to stay with her for a little while too, which was very nice. So I got to see her and her son, and I got a chance to rub the baby belly. Shannon is with child, and she's going to be due in January. I'm having a baby girl this time. So yeah, with that being said, I would like to show two pieces of jewelry that I have. You know, I'm going to skip to the kindness catchphrase. The kindness catchphrase contest was won by Rogue, also known by as Michi Roos. If I've mispronounced that, she'll kick my ass. So sorry, but I finally have the piece ready, and I'm going to be sending this to her, and this will be available in my shop. It's the kindness catchphrase contest was, let's come up with a phrase of something that represents the fandom and in a positive way, because there's so much drama and you know, I went off on this forever in one of my previous shows. So I just wanted to let you know that you know, I did announce the winner several weeks ago, and her phrase was the SPN, I'm sorry, kindness, the SPN family business. And I think that sums it up beautifully. So I stamped that. I don't know how well you can see it, but kindness in the middle, the SPN family business on the bottom with a star, with some stars. Because I, you know, at the risk of sounding like a complete and total cornball, I mean, we should be striving for higher things and just looking out for each other. So this is going out to Rogue, and I will also put it in my shop for those of you who are interested in sharing a positive message amongst our fandom, which I am so pleased to be a member of. The next thing I wanted to show, oh, and by the way, I'm just going to preface all of this with, I know there's some kind of show coming on in a little bit. I guess it's called Supernatural. Yeah, so I was not able to have my show on last night because my 11-year-old was going on a camping trip with his 6th grade class today, and last night was spent in Walmart sleeping bag shopping. So we will be back on Tuesday nights starting next week. I wanted to debut a piece that I designed inspired by the darkness. So here it is. It is a piece of stone, natural stone. It's raw. I rarely tumble any of my raw stones. And it's wired to a thick silver frame, and it's got steel balls wired to it and wrapped. And each of these pieces for the darkness are going to be completely different, because these aren't glass pieces that I have, you know, several of the same piece of glass. This is natural rock, so there are no two exactly alike. So you will find some that are, you know, smaller, bigger, you know, not all of them come to a point. Some are rectangular, some are more round, but the same design concept. And that's also a part of what makes handmade jewelry so unique, is that you'll never see the same piece twice. Even in the designs that I am always redoing, you know, I'm always creating, like Castiel's Grace, for example. I can't even count how many Castiel's Grace necklaces, but I can guarantee you no two of them are exactly alike. There's always a subtle nuance, a difference of the way the wire is wrapped, the patterns that it makes. It's always different. And Rogue is here. Hi, did you see your bracelet, Rogue? I'm going to show you just one more time. It says, kindness, the SPN family business. Bam, bam. That's going to you. And then it is also going in my shop, and I would really like to see this take off and just give everybody, not because I want a lot of sales, but of course I do. But my whole point behind the kindness catchphrase contest was to come up with something that can spread a positive word amongst the fandom and bring us together and try to dissolve some of that crappy drama that always pops up, you know? So thank you, Rogue, for, I think, the perfect catchphrase that we could come up with. Rogue is saying that she loves her Cass's Grace Restored. Yeah, and that's another necklace that you will never see two of, you know, that are exactly the same. Everything's always different. And that's why I love handmade. It's, if you wanted something factory bought, you could buy that anywhere. But if you want something where somebody actually made it with their own two hands, not in a sweatshop, and it's made, you know, by the artist, by the actual designer, by someone who loves each piece, you know, and at the risk of sounding like a complete, you know, cornball, which I think I've said that at least twice in the span of 12 minutes, which is really not good. You know, each of those pieces are meaningful to me. I look at each piece as a creation of mine, and I give it just as much love, whether I've made it once or whether I've made it 100 times. So that's part of it, and I hope that that comes across in the pieces when you have them in your hands. I'm so glad that you like it, Rogue. So now what I wanted to do is open up the floor for you guys to talk about season 11. We've gotten one dose of it so far, and we're about to get our second dose very shortly. So the darkness, how do y'all feel? See, this is, I would love to hear your feedback on the darkness being embodied as a woman. I was thinking a lot about it, and I would really love to hear your thoughts on that. How do you feel about the darkness being personified as a woman, embodied in this woman that was talking with Dean? What do you think is going to happen with that? Oh, thank you, Rogue. She was Rogue is saying that the kindness catchphrase bracelet, kindness, the SPN family business, will look great with her always keep fighting pieces, which are on their way to you, I swear. I know they're on their way to you. And that's also just an aside. You know, for anybody who's just joined, I've had pneumonia for almost 2 weeks, and I traveled while I was not very well this past weekend. So I am a bit behind on my orders. I got a bunch out today. I anticipate being caught up no later than Friday. Okay, so Rogue is saying, okay, when Cass said the darkness is a woman, I thought of the line from Ghostbusters, it's a girl. Oh my God, you know? That's funny. That's funny. That reminds me of, again, with Ghostbusters. Okay, she's a dog. That's like one of the funny, I'm sorry, I love that. This is like one of the most quotable movies. But yeah, I was really taken aback when they actually created a character, the darkness. But I guess it's to be expected if you have death, right? So if you have death as a horseman, is, you know, I guess they'd have to find a way of you know, making the darkness relatable as a character. Um, so anyway, I'm waiting for some feedback in the chat room about that. We can move on. What else about season 11 in the premiere? What did you think about that? How did you feel? I'm not sure. I've watched it at least 3 times now so that I can kind of speak intelligently about it. And I'm still not there, you know? Um, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go back to the chat window, and Carrie mentions pneumonia sucks. Had it this past summer. Not fun. And I should get plenty of rest. Don't want it to come back. Yeah, you're right, Carrie. I remember when you had pneumonia. That was terrible. And you had it for a while, right? I remember you had trouble kicking it to the curb. And Rogue is saying death, who's obviously not quite dead. Yeah. I don't know how all of this is going to play out, and I haven't watched any spoilers. But I did read a headline today which pissed me off. Something about Dean chooses the baby over Sam. And all I keep thinking is, stop it. Can't they just be together, work together, and be nice, play nice? And bad Crowley. I loves the bad Crowley. Yeah, we all do. But I kind of liked it when he was kind of part of Team Free Will, that for whatever reasons. I just enjoyed that. But when I was watching, you know how I live tweet, so I'm live tweeting the show, and it showed, the red smoke going into that woman. And I remember tweeting, "Oh my God, Crowley's in a woman." And then after I tweeted that, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I could have chosen a better, way of saying that, I think." But then again, no, I couldn't. Oh, everybody loves a bad Crowley, though. But I think having that woman stand there in her bra and underwear saying, "King," that kind of summed it up pretty much, right? Rogue saying, "I hope it doesn't take 9 episodes to get them back together." I hope not. That's why I'm saying, they've been apart for so long. They need to work together this time, especially with something that they've never dealt with anything of this magnitude before. Well, I mean, even the apocalypse wasn't as big as the darkness, right? And Carrie's saying that she needs to watch more episodes this season to get a good feel of it. Still not quite sure how to feel about the darkness. Yeah, I'm not there either. And that's why I was curious to hear what you guys thought. I keep, rewatching the premiere because I keep thinking, is there something that I'm missing? Because I'm not sure I get everything. And no. But because the next episode is going to be on in less than an hour, in about 40 minutes. This is going to be a very abbreviated episode. And y'all saying, yay, yay. So in about 5 minutes, I am going to do the trivia contest. Crowley would have liked that language. The Crowley's in a woman language. And she also writes, since the 9th episode is called "Oh Brother, We're Out," though. Okay, well, 9th episode, that I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens tonight and then take it from there. But I can't. It's heart-wrenching watching them be pissed at each other and not working together. Okay, so Rogue, you're saying that casting darkness as a pretty young woman annoyed the heck out of you. I'm wondering if that's to throw some kind of a contrast between the darkness and death. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. I was shocked to see. I'm like, well, that's not quite what I expected. I don't know. I am grasping for straws here. I don't know. Um, but like I said, this is going to be a very abbreviated episode, so get this. Okay, so you don't think that they're pissed at each other, but they just can't work together, though. It just seems like anytime they work together, there's something that's pulling them in opposite directions. Always, always. And it's like, it's like what Sam said, whatever happened to saving people, that's only half the bumper sticker. You think that it's to try and dissuade the Destiel intensity. Elaborate on that a little bit more. I'd like to hear what you think about that, where that's going. That's interesting. So do you think that it was too Dean and Cass heavy, and that's why they're doing it this way? I don't know. Yeah, that will never work. I'm going to interrupt for just a second to put my trivia question out there, and you are welcome to answer the question if you've not won anything from me in 8 weeks. Okay, so in the premiere, we've met a police officer named Jenna. Jenna, the actress who plays Jenna, was also in another episode of Supernatural, not as Jenna. Tell me her name and in what season and episode that she was in. You have until 7:30 to answer that question. So do what you gotta do. So just to repeat the question, the actress who plays Jenna was another character in Supernatural. What was the character's name and the episode? You don't have to necessarily name what season it was, but the character's name and the episode. And this is only open to those who have not won anything from me in 8 weeks. Let's see how that goes. So anyway, any other thoughts on season 11? Not necessarily the premiere, but what you anticipate happening. I was so glad that I rewatched it, because what happened was I missed the very ending. So I missed the mark showing up on the baby, which is a little important, right? Because I, got distracted having to put children to bed and all that crap. But Rogue is saying, no, not too Dean Cass heavy, but the two sides of the fandom are unrelenting and trying to get their ship to become canon. Well, what I will say, as far as that's concerned, and this goes back to, what we were just talking about, the kindness catchphrase contest, the SPN family business. I will never, ever judge anyone for how they view the show, how they view the actors, how they view the characters. That doesn't mean that I agree. It just means I respect everyone's beliefs. I respect everyone's opinions. And if everybody would take an approach like that, it might make things run a little smoother. That's what fanfic is for. You could even there are many, many other creative outlets to express, what you would want to see happen on the show, even if it never makes it to the show. There are other ways of getting that out there, for yourself and for others who follow, whether it's a ship, whether it's, which I'm not accustomed to talking like with that lingo, but whether it's a pairing that's not on the show, or whether it's a story arc that the show will never do. We are all entitled to think what we want, to say what we want, but we should be very respectful in how we say these things and never judge anyone, because they think it would be cool if so-and-so and so-and-so got together, or if so-and-so and so-and-so were not together, or if so-and-so became this, or so-and-so became that, or so-and-so's dead and now they're whatever. It's like anything else. It doesn't just apply to Supernatural. It applies to not only fandom, it just applies to life in general. It's just being respectful of other people's beliefs and other people's longings and other people's likes and dislikes. You can't judge people for anything like that. And what Rogue is saying is that she respects them if she's not being bludgeoned. Absolutely. Well, if that's the approach they're taking with you, then they're not being respectful of you. And the same rules apply, right? Or made to feel as if your experience invalidates your opinion. It's the same thing. It really is the same thing, I think, with certain things, we need to tread delicately. It's okay. So here, let's talk about this for 2 seconds. My daughter is not in this room right now, thankfully. Usually she is. This is an opportunity. Okay, so Raven is right now going through a phase where she wants to be a fairy. She's going through YouTube video after YouTube video to try to find spells that will make her become a fairy. She does all of these rituals where she thinks she's going to become a fairy. And I'm putting it out there now that it is not to say that I think that what anybody else believes is fairy tale fiction and will never come to fruition on the screen. My point being, I'm not going to crush her spirit. I will not crush her spirit. And I will help her and encourage her. On that same token, when you have people that are just completely enwrapped in something and they can't see beyond that, and that's what they're focused on, that's what makes them happy, I don't think it's our place to say, well, the show will never do that. It's okay to just say, yeah, cool, and walk away or whatever if it makes you uncomfortable. I tread very, very lightly when I'm talking to someone that has a vastly different opinion than me, as long as they're being as respectful with me. It's so hard to articulate, but I think you get where I'm going with this. It's okay if they're coming down on you hard, saying this is what's going to happen, and I don't care, the writer's going to do this eventually, and you have a difference of opinion, it's fine, but I don't think them coming down with a hammer means that we should be coming down with a hammer too. I think we need to that's our cue to back away, because they're not being very respectful. And I'm just looking at the chat window again. Sorry if I'm being distracted. Okay, so Rogue is saying that she was disappointed that the darkness is a sexual foil. Yeah, that I was disappointed about that too. I really, really was. I'm like, okay, so it's a hot girl. So I guess they have to, like I was saying earlier, maybe their thinking behind it was that they have to create some kind of contrast and not show another horseman-ish, figure. It's got to be something that's just completely out of, the realm that they've been, showing us. So I see that we're almost at 7:30. So I'm going to give everybody one more minute. If you've not won anything from me in the past 8 weeks, the trivia question is, the character Jenna is played by an actress who was also in another episode of Supernatural as another character. What was her character's name and what was the episode? You have 1 minute. And going back to the chat window, walking away is not that easy sometimes, and I agree. Which means even more if you're going to be engaged in a conversation, it's and you notice that there's tension. For me, I'm not telling anybody how to behave. For me, when I'm in a situation like that, especially depending on what it's about. I mean, if if this is just a healthy debate that's getting unhealthy, um, I try to diffuse it. And I don't diffuse it by agreeing with them. I diffuse it by, just ratcheting it down gradually. If it's something that's rather important, then, it's a whole other ballgame. But we're talking about, who's doing who in Supernatural, basically. And I don't think that that's of, any kind of import in terms of, the grand scheme of life. But, like I said, there are people that hold that near and dear to their hearts, and it's something that's very important to them. Excuse me. The pneumonia is not all gone. So we just, we handle each case on a case-by-case basis on how we behave there. But basically what I'm just trying to say is let's just, respect each other and get along and love each other and be the support that we can be for all of us in the SPN family. Rogue is saying that she's the only one here. I thought Carrie was there too. Samina. Stop with the Samina. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so we're gonna talk ships. Okay, Samina will. I want Samina to happen, even if it's a one-time thing. I think something, because Sam's got a history, right? He's got a history with not human-ish things. Dean should have never left Sam alone. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Okay, so the answer to the question is Jenna was in season 7. Her character's name was Emily, and she was the Alpha Vamp's pet. Oh, Carrie, you are here. The episode's name was There Will Be Blood. So Emily was the human virgin that the Alpha Vamp used to dine off of on occasion as a little treat for himself. So yes, so the same actress is now Jenna in season 11. And I do have to say, and I don't know if it was just me, but when I first saw her, I'm like, I know she was in another episode right away, but I'm like, I kept thinking that she was Eve, that she was the actress who played Eve, and it was killing me that I couldn't find anything on that. I'm like, wait, no, that's Eve. I swear to you, she, even like her voice, her delivery, it sounded like Eve, but no, it was not. Oh, okay. Rogue saying she wants to see death again, and that when she sees more stories, she can move past the Samina thing. I can't. I'm still stuck on that. I guess, when it happens, or when it doesn't, when they make it clear it's not going to happen, I'll move past it. But anyway, one last look at the darkness in jewelry form. So just to get an idea of size, it's pretty damn big, but it's not heavy. So cleavage shot there. So this will be in my shop. I will have it in my shop tomorrow. And then this will also be in my shop tomorrow. And this particular one is on its way to Rogue tomorrow. It says kindness, the SPN family business. That's the kindness catchphrase that Rogue came up with. And I'm very proud to embody that on a bracelet, and I could also put it on a necklace. So that will be in my shop tomorrow. And to wrap it up, Rogue is saying that she keeps suggesting it to Ruth. Oh, and she's asking super fast, how is TorCon? I was pretty much ill throughout the entire weekend, so I didn't do so well in terms of, I just sat there at my table. I couldn't bring myself to do more work than was necessary, because every time I, looked sideways, I felt like I was going to throw up. I wasn't doing so hot. I traveled before I was ready. Um, and traveling back home kind of set me back a little bit too. I'm desperately trying to get 100% because I have ShyCon next week. But thank you for asking. It was not one of my better experiences, and I'm sure people that came to my table looked at my face and said, "What the fuck are you doing here?" But anyway, ShyCon is gonna rock. I am very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you there. So please come say hi, and Raven will be there too. So that's an extra treat, at least for me. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, and I also wanted to remind you all of please make sure you go. This is totally unrelated to anything I was talking about. Go on Twitter and follow SPN Ladies Con so that you can find out how you can help make the Ladies of Supernatural convention happen next year. It's very, very important. If you want to see all of these female characters and actors that have absolutely no representation in the current convention scene, this is how we can make this happen. So please do check it out. And Rogue is asking, Raven's favorite color is purple. Raven's favorite color is purple. And I am going to take this time to just say thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient, for all of you who are waiting on orders, because I'm not going to go through that again. And I look forward to seeing you at ShyCon. And remember what I mentioned at the beginning of my show tonight. I am now going to be opening up the ability to request from me a custom piece specifically about you. It doesn't have to be supernatural related, but it could have components. It could be anything you want about you. So contact me and we'll talk about how I can design a one-of-a-kind piece about you. And it would be the only piece like it in existence. It's not something that gets replicated. There's only one of you. There would only be one piece for you. Okay, so thank you all. Let's get ready to watch episode 2 of season 11. And thank you all for watching and supporting and just being you. I love all of you. I will see y'all at ShyCon. And actually, before ShyCon, I will see you next Tuesday at same bat station, same bat time. And enjoy. Bye.